Today marks the 15th anniversary of Capcom's long-forgotten Onimusha franchise. Onimusha Warlords was released for the PS2 on March 13, 2001 in North America, just 2 months after its Japanese debut. It was a series that flourished in the PS2 era and then suddenly died off. Let's rewind the clock with a brief retrospective to showcase why its demise is so tragic. Onimusha Warlords takes place in the Sengoku period of Japan. Samanosuke Akechi is a member of the One clan, beholders of the magical Oni gauntlet, powerful enough to vanquish Genma, or demons. Samanosuke is tasked with freeing Japan of the Genma and Lord Nobunaga Oda, who is controlling them. It plays similarly to Resident Evil, with tank controls, horror themes, consumable items, simple puzzles, and a vast array of weaponry. Graphically, it still holds up, but the controls are a bit hard to wrestle with. An enhanced port, Genma Onimusha, was released for the Xbox on January 28, 2002. Soon after that, the official second entry, Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny, launched on August 27, 2002 for the PS2. While keeping the same mechanics as well as Nobunaga as the villain, the hero was replaced by another Destiny clan member, Jubei Yagyu. Another big change was the ability to switch between multiple sub-characters that assisted Jubei throughout the game's campaign. This, along with the original title, was planned as PS1 titles but were retooled and developed alongside one another and converted onto the PS2. That's why the release time in between was so short. The series took a slight detour with its next two entries. First, Onimusha Tactics was released for the GBA on November 11, 2003. It's essentially like Final Fantasy Tactics both graphically and in terms of gameplay. The other game was Onimusha Blade Warriors, which launched for the PS2 on March 24, 2004. It was a fighting game in the style of Super Smash Bros., featuring characters from the series to that point. Both games, sadly, weren't great and were poor imitations next to their counterparts, along with being a blemish on the Onimusha franchise. Thankfully, fans didn't have to wait long for the third, proper sequel when Onimusha 3 Demon Siege released for the PS2 on April 27, 2004. It featured the return of Samanosuke along with a crazy plotline revolving around time travel. While battling Nobunaga, Samanosuke is transported to present-day France where he encounters a police officer, played by Jean Reno, who is then zapped back to the Sengoku period. Players control both characters as they try and stop the Genma from wreaking havoc in both eras. Admittedly, it's about as bonkers as the Resident Evil series would become. Despite its bizarre nature, Demon Siege is really good and probably the best game in the series. Well, it's my favorite at least. With that trilogy wrapped up, Capcom decided to give the series a fresh coat of paint. Onimusha Dawn of Dreams launched on March 8, 2006 for the PS2. It took place in a different setting years after 3, with a new cast of characters. Soki, another member of the Oni, is on a quest to stop Hideyoshi Toitami, who has taken up the mantle of ruling Japan with the Genma after Nobunaga was defeated in Demon Siege. Like the second game, Dawn of Dreams featured multiple characters the players could swap between. The gameplay primarily remained the same, but vastly tweaked, making it the best action in the series to that point. Well, actually make that the best in the franchise, because after that, Onimusha died. Okay, not quite yet. First, there was a film and two-part manga adaptation based on Dawn of Dreams afterward. Soki was also a playable character in the Wii fighting game Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars in 2010. A browser-based game, Onimusha Soul, launched for Japan in 2012. Alright, and now that's it. It's been 10 years since a proper entry in the series has released. However, recent news has got fans hopeful for a revival. Capcom's Street Fighter producer, Yoshinari Ono, was interviewed during the launch of Street Fighter V back in February. The publication, Daily Star, asked about Onimusha, which he replied with this: "I've spoken internally with people who made Onimusha with me originally and talked about maybe how interesting it would be to revisit this series." Along with that, Capcom re-registered Onimusha as a trademark last December. So, does this smell like a reboot? Realistically, all signs point to no. Capcom's recent decisions revolve around their top cash cows, Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. Other series, like the aforementioned Street Fighter, still hold some ground, but it's been ages since Onimusha and other beloved franchises like Mega Man have been treated to the limelight. The above news could prove fruitful though. After all, Capcom reached out to another developer to reboot Devil May Cry. While it didn't sell great, it was a fantastic game nonetheless. Never lose hope is all I'm trying to say. For now, all I can do is wish Onimusha a very sad, but deservedly so, happy 15th anniversary.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom.